Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Cromwell. It's a tier 6 British medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of Redshire and it's under the command of RoverKnight of DGM clan. Now the Cromwell, it's quite an interesting tank, especially if it's got the 75mm gun. It's got 13 degrees of gun depression, but best of all, it's got a top speed of about 64 kilometers an hour, so it's a very fast tank, can get into trouble very quickly and get out of trouble almost as quickly. It steers a bit like a pig, but other than that, it's very fast when it needs to be. Now, if I remember correctly, the 75mm gun on the Cromwell is very much similar to the German 75mm. So basically, he can do the same to the enemy 75mm armed tanks like the Panzer IV. Then, of course, they could do to British tanks when they were in the desert. Of course, the British crews were not too enamoured with the Cromwell when it first came out because they saw the flat armour and thought, oh, terrible. Because of course flat armour makes it easier to penetrate. They could have angled the armour, they could have, but they didn't, and they just made them flat surfaces so they were easier to build. They built over 1,000 of this tank, and although they started designing them about 1941-42, they didn't actually produce many of them until around about 1943, and of course they were used during the Normandy campaign. He's loading a premium round for that Thunderbolt. It's got heavier armour. No, that shot didn't go through. He's tracking it, trying to... He hasn't got an outline, which means obviously that guy is in the dip. He's in the riverbed. Okay, over here we've got a KV-122 going up into the castle. I don't think he's got a shot on that Thunderbolt at the moment, not from this position. Probably needs to pay attention to these guys because they could damage him. They can shoot through that gate for starters. It's an Eagle 7 there, which is basically a Pershing. Oh, 2 shots into him. Now the alpha isn't that much, it's about what you'd expect for a 75mm gun. 135, penetration of 145 with standard rounds, and that goes up to 202 with the premium. It's good all-round observation there. Pulls back to get a view of what's actually going on the bigger picture. Of course, a lot of players just use the mini-map to actually get a general idea of what's going on. I religiously look at my mini-map whilst I'm playing medium or tank destroyer. Nice shot onto the Su-122-44. Now he's turned his armour towards us now, which makes it difficult to pen, but he's still got one in there because he's using premium. No, he's pulled down the other side. No, he's not, and he's certainly not going to penetrate at that angle because it's so oblique that the shells are just going to bounce off. Have to take that into account. Oh, ricocheted off the side of the KV-3, just got the wrong angle there. Now that bush ahead of him will only give him partial cover. He's also giving a good eye on what's going on behind him in the castle, because if those guys pop out the rear, he could get shots in his ass from the enemy. But I think he's decided now he has to pay attention to these guys because they've reached the gates. No, that one wasn't going to go through, but he'll probably hit the KV-122. Yes, good hit. Solid hit there, 149. Another one into the turret. I think that was 138 from that shot. That KV-122 doesn't want to come through the gates, but we've got a KV-3 over to the left who is coming through, and he's got the side of that Su-122-44 now. Lost sight of him there. Tried a blind shot, didn't work. That one did. Can you get the kill? Yes! Excellent. Okay, but he still needs to watch out what's going on behind him as his teammate in the Super Hellcat gets in the way. But it's nice to actually have somebody with a 90mm gun nearby because they can do a lot of damage very, very quickly on the enemy. No, not going to get shots on the IS unless you move closer. Super Hellcat, don't know why you did that. I think he did that deliberately, actually. Okay, he's got shots on the IS now. This is where that 13 degrees of gun depression can be really, really useful. And it has that 13 degrees because the gun is fairly low mounted in the turret. You can see it's quite a big gap between the turret roof and the actual gun. But the other factor that actually gives it really good gun depression is the fact that there is no stabilization mount. And these tanks needed them, really, to be honest, because they were moving so quickly. It's very difficult for them to actually get to keep the gun on the target. So you need vert stabs on a tank like this in order to get good effect from that 75mm. Nice bit of driving there. Difficult to get over that bridge. Oh, he's got these guys by the ass. Oh, they'll never realise the gun's turned, and he pulls back before they can do anything about it. That must have worried them. But he can't pull away directly across, but he's just going to sit here for the moment, and he can reverse side scrape on those guys. They're going to have to keep an eye in the back of their head from now on. He can probably take out that KV-122 now, but he's not going to poke through just yet. Crosses the bridge again. Again, good driving, because it's difficult sometimes to maintain your place on that bridge. And he's got, oh well, he did have shots on that guy, but he decided not to stop and take the shot because he would have made himself a bit of a target to the IS. But he can get him now. It's 2 shots to kill him. Nice. He actually got spotting assist there. The guy who killed the IS was the Super Hellcat behind, or actually over at the other end of the hill. So they've killed the other tanks in the castle grounds except for the Eagle. There he is. And I think he's going to go in there. Oh, we just lost the 3002. Now he doesn't really want to go toe to toe with the Eagle. The guy's got fairly good armour. Probably 1 or 2 shots and then pull back. No, he's lost sight of him. This is where the speed of the Cromwell can become useful, because you just do a drive-by on the person, quickly shoot them. 1 in. 2. He's trying to circle him. Yeah, you're going to take damage if you do that. He could have got 2 shots in and disappeared before the Eagle could do something, but he's going to death circle him now until he gets the kill. Unfortunately, he does steal like a pig, the Cromwell, but it does have decent speed, and the Eagle 7 is wiped out. Nice. Well done. I thought he'd just do a drive-by on the guy, get 2 shots in and disappear out the other side of the castle before the Eagle 7 could do anything, but he decided, yep, I wanted to take that guy on and kill him. And that means now there's only 2 enemy tanks remaining, the KV-3 and the VK-3001P, and an Arty. And the Arty, I'm afraid, is an M44, and as we know, the M44 is a very good Arty, well capable of shotgunning any tank really, but it's going to take at least 2 shots to take out a Cromwell who's got this much health. So it's just a question of finding the enemy Arty, and well, he hasn't been spotted yet. Sixth Sense has not gone off, so he's not going to go in the cap. If the M44 had seen him, Sixth Sense would have popped, and there he is. He's seen the M44, but the M44 is oblivious to him. His Sixth Sense must have gone off, but he just doesn't know where the target is. He does now. It's too late. And RoverKnight has decided he's not going to start capping to force the enemy to come back. I think that probably would be the smart move, because then he doesn't have to engage those enemy tanks up north. He can leave that to the Super Hellcat, but the question is, has the enemy decided to turn tails and come back this way? Well, they're indicating that he might be around the Zeppelin area. I think given the speed of the KB3 and the VK-3001P, there's absolutely no way they could make it back to the camp, and that would give him an invader medal for sure. And he's platooned with the Super Hellcat. They both got 3 kills. So Brothers in Arms is on the cards if they both survive. Ah, found the VK. He runs into the Zeppelin remains. And he can get a shot on him. I don't think the VK can see him. No, his gun's not even turning in this direction, and he's moving very slowly, which means he's probably... Oh, he got the ammo rack! He blew him up. I think he actually had huge lag problems, because you can see he was very stuttery about how he was moving. And I don't think that KB3 knows he's here either. Can't see him. And there's the kill that wins the game for RoverKnight in the Cromwell. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And here's the end of battle stats for RoverKnight in the Cromwell. He got an ace tanker in that game. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 7. He got demolition expert because he blew up the VK3001P. Yeah, turret flew off that one. Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, just one short of getting a top gun, and a 5 for effect for dealing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. In that battle he got an Oskins medal. He took on and destroyed at least 3 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a medium tank, and they were at least 1 tier higher than him. He also got a Brothers in Arms because he platooned with the Super Hellcat. They both had 3 kills. And finally, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. Look at the team score. We can see, yep, there you go. Top of the table. 3,197 hit points for RoverKnight. 2,589 hit points for that Super Hellcat. So he was a very good player. Kissmate, 80. And thirdly, the enemy team had a Super Hellcat as well. Did 2,468 hit points of damage. But I'm afraid, yep, he couldn't save his team. When it came to kills, again, RoverKnight got the highest with 5 kills. That's 1/3 of the enemy team. 3 kills went to Kismate, and then the rest had 2 or 1 or nothing. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,413 went to RoverKnight. He's the only player with over 1,000 base experience points. 829 went to the Super Hellcat, and 811 went to the Tiger 1 on his team. He fired 42 rounds of 75mm ammunition in that game, got 30 direct hits and 26 penetrations. Damage of 3,197 hit points, of which 1,560 were at more than 300 meters, so did a fair bit of long range shooting. 1 hit received, it was a penetration. That was from the Eagle 7 while he was circling the guy. He also got 1 hit by way of splash damage as well during the game. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged and 5 killed, and 685 hit points of damage assistance. On this premium account, he actually managed to get 36,990 credits from the game, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 3,974 credits. Yes, he did use a fair amount of premium ammo, but I think you'd agree that it did have the right effect upon the enemy. It did take them down, and he would have had difficulty penetrating with some of the AP at long range, especially on some of those heavy tanks, because as you fire over long distance, your amount of penetration drops comparative to the range. So if you use standard ammo on a tank, a heavy tank with lots of armor at long range, there's a good chance it's not going to go through. So you need to use premium ammo to ensure that you do get the pen at long range shots. He received 1,413 XP, got 8,480 from personal missions payout, and took away 10,600 experience points altogether. So a very good game there for RoverKnight in the Cromwell, which is a fairly decent tank. If only the only problem it's really got is that 75mm has got fairly long reload. It's fairly steers like a pig really most of the time. It's got decent speed. And again, the armor's a bit lackluster. The flat surfaces do present quite an easy target for the enemy to pen. So you have to be quick. You have to assassinate the enemy as quickly as you can. And as you saw when RoverKnight was trying to death circle that Eagle 7, the Eagle 7 was able to get a shot on him as he was going around because he was having difficulty trying to keep his circling tight enough that the Eagle 7 couldn't shoot him. But it's very difficult to do that in the Cromwell because it steers so badly. But it does have a nice gun which is capable of penetrating, and if you pick the right target and do a quick drive-by on the enemy, you can do a lot of damage to them and be out the other side before they realise what's happened. And during the Second World War, that's exactly what did happen in many cases. The Cromwells, which were roving around the Normandy countryside, would pick targets that they could easily kill, such as Panther 3s and 4s, and take them out with the 75mm gun, no problem at all. But of course, if they ever came across something like a Panther or a Tiger, they'd have to retreat because they just didn't have the pen to take on such heavy tanks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game by RoverKnight, and if you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the YouTube algorithm, and thank you for watching.